Okay, everyone, sorry anybody who's watching quite yet. Just setting up here. So we are going to have a round of 64 game Discord League Season 13 Cup between Alphasquid and Misha, I think it is, or maybe Micha. Not exactly sure. Very similar to Micha, not Micha, who's a well-known Crane player. This is a different, also probably excellent soon to be well known Crane player. I'm not as familiar, maybe people in the Crane chat are, but we got a Crane mirror match. Not thing I'm most familiar with playing, but I've certainly seen many of them. And we do have some interesting spice in these lists. I was taking a look at them. Yeah, Mika saying that no matter what, Crane will win. So that's always good for the Crane faithful out there. Let's take a quick look while they're doing the mulligans at the deck lists here. As mentioned, there's some pretty interesting stuff there. Um, the Alphasquid side, we have 3 times formal limitation. You see formal limitation more now than you did before, but 3 times is certainly leaning into it. I guess he wants to move in to get use of the duelist training, get use of the Kakita Dojo, etc. He wants to have a lot of mobility on his characters. We also see the one of Karmic Balance, which is pretty interesting. A Curry Favor, which I always thought was a pretty decent card. He's running the one of Censure and Yoshi, of course, for favors. So not bad to get favors. It's good when you're second player, etc. Um, and 2 Iron Warriors, so definitely a more militarized list than usual. Um, let's check where they are. Okay, so we see the flips. We'll jump over to Misha, or he can correct me later. I'll call Misha for now. Who's Alphasquid's on Seeker of Fire, both on Dragon Splash. And here we go. Oh, I'll make the bigger here. Oh, we got people right in the game watching. Oh, well, I guess I'll have to catch up on the audio of my commentary later, of course. The and welcome to everyone who's tuning in. You can let me know if there's anything wrong with the audio, or if you want me to move around some of the boxes to better places for you guys. Do anything like that, please do. I'll be checking the chat from as frequently as I can. Okay, so it looks like Alphasquid has got a pretty good flop. He's got Imperial Palace to start off with Yoshi, so it's obviously looking towards second turn there. That's going to be, unless that palace is broken, that looks like a second turn plan for sure. I mean, he's got Blast Samurai. Buys Blast Samurai, no fate. Maybe thinking about the Assassinate. I mean, Samurai's a pretty good character. Often see ball with one fate, but in the game, it's answered by a Doji Challenger with 3, so heavy investment in Doji Challenger. Obviously, you want him to stick around. Not as good as in first turn as usually is, especially since this Brash Samurai might attack first, although they won't get the benefit of honoring if he's potentially assassinated, but that's okay as well. Obviously, attacking into Crane, even for Crane, is somewhat daunting because you can hit the old magistrate station and things can really go south for you there. So we'll see who is willing to make that first attack between these two titans of Crane, as it were. Draw 5/5. I suspect that 5 will be uh, prominently displayed on the dial over and over and over again throughout this game. We see on Misha's side there is Toshimoko, obviously a pretty expensive first turn buy, very powerful. Children of the Empire character, possibly more of a late game type thing for defending uh, conflicts you don't want to break, those third, fourth breaks, that type of thing. Brash Samurai, which could have been a potential buy as well, and the Kakita Dojo, which is synergizes well with the duelist that he has on the table. So he will be able to duel and bow this Brash Samurai, as well as blanking its abilities. So if the Brash Samurai attacks into the Doji Challenger, could go. I think that's just a difficult proposition for Alphasquid, because not only will he not be able to honor his Brash Samurai before it gets, but it will also be bowed. So Alphasquid decides to make the attack. Of course, he will be trading roughly fate equivalent characters in terms of if the Doji Challenger is going to defend here. He attacks military Earth. Which province is he going to pick? I mean, the Doji Challenger is what? Six. He's about 1 point fade a turn. Plus, he's got the card invested in him as well. Versus 2 for the Samurai. Not 100% sure on this attack. I suppose. I mean, either way, you're going to have to do something. Oh, very unfortunate for Alphasquid. Hits Magistrate Station. So let's see how Micha wants to handle this. Does he duel right away to avoid this samurai honoring himself and making the duel more difficulty? Nope, he passes. He has the honored character, so I mean, obviously keeping this magistrate station standing is a big priority for Micha because he can restand that Doji Challenger and be able to attack back at 5. Bash Samurai honors himself, still losing the conflict. So, but at least now Voice of Honor turned off, so he has access to Bonsai, which I'm pretty sure he's running in his list. I promise I will get to checking the lists again or talking about the lists when there's sort of a break between rounds or something like that. Right now we're right heavy into the action. Okay, so still losing as defender. And quite a long way to go. I mean, an unanswered Bonsai would get him there to breaking this province. Nope, unable to win. So Micha decides is likely going. Oh, doesn't use the magistrate station to ready his character. Am I missing something here? Possibly just letting the first attack go because he's going to pass it anyway, and seeing what how Alphasquid responds. If Alphasquid plays a conflict character, he can stand up, etc. You might as well take that second attack if you're just going to do one attack. You can respond. I mean, a likely. Now he readies. Well, Alphasquid drop a conflict character here. Possibly, I mean, to force the defense and avoid a break on its own provinces. But now the challenger, I don't know what kind of pumps and things are in Micha's hands. He could head in for that Imperial Palace. Probably be a great thing to break if you can. Hits Manicure Garden. It's going to give an additional fate. So currently 1 away from breaking on a military. So we got Bonsai. We have, what do we got in terms of other pumps in Micha's deck? We have 3 fine katanas and a hawk tattoo. So he could drop the hawk tattoo. I was going to get to the hawk tattoo in a second when we talk about his deck. He could drop the hawk tattoo for break value, which might be worth it. No, but he does have fine katana in hand, 1 of the 3. We'll see if Alphasquid has anything to respond to save this Imperial Palace, or if he wants to invest in saving the Imperial Palace, because again, another katana or bonsai or something like that could just go over the top of what he's able to put down. Let go. Discards the fine katana. Yep, there's that second fine katana. So, great first round here, I think, for Micha. In terms of, obviously the magistrate station being hit, and he looks like he has the juice to break the Imperial Palace with the Yoshi on board. Of course, Alphasquid does have the Guest of Honor for a second round, and he can pump a lot of fate into it to stick around for quite a while. I mean, a 7 military Doji Challenger doesn't need a lot of events. We see a second flank. Now Micha's got the unhappy face, but I think finding 2 of your 3 katanas and 2 of your 3 let goes is pretty equal. Steward of Law is dropped with the last fate that she has to get this break. Again, I would say the investment's worth it. You don't want to be dealing with Yoshi in the favor with without any clouds in your deck. Oh, Micha has the assassination for the Steward of Law. So a lot of a second Steward of Law. So we got a lot of action in this first round. I mean, I've been used to playing a lot of clans in a lot of matchups that don't do anything first round. But these Crane players are going at it. They know what they want. Micha wants this Imperial Palace broken. He wants the favor. So we see a dojo. Yep, the Kakita dojo can bow the Steward of Law. It's quite the bully duel, unwinnable. So I would see 1-to-1 bids for both characters. Yes, so that's in fact we do. The Steward of Law gets bowed. I believe Kakita dojo does not blank its active abilities. Yeah, trigger its ability. So the cannot be dishonored clause as well. There's another Steward of Law. There's all sorts of Steward of Laws. 3 of them being played in this one conflict. So Alphasquid's down to 5 cards to 4 cards. He needs 1. He needs to get 1 force here to avoid this break, and can't find it. But a valiant effort nonetheless. So looks like Yoshi's going to have to chill for another round, looking for that favor. Or, I mean, I suppose he could just come out and help get it himself. After all, lazy Yoshi, always waiting on other people to get the favor for him. Oh, so again, welcome to all and any viewers. If there's something you'd like to see in terms of commentary, if the volume might be a little high or low, etc., just drop a note in the chat. If any comments on the matchup itself, what to look for, how do you think that first round went? I think it was pretty tilted toward Micha, although we'll have a 12 fate advantage going in for Alphasquid, although an Honor Doji Challenger I think is definitely worth, sorry, not 12 fate advantage, 5 fate advantage. I think an Honor Doji Challenger is worth 5 fate to even that out, and maybe even a bit more. So we see Yoshi pop up on Misha's side after getting that favor, and 2 Kakita dojos. That's a lot of dueling with this duelist. That's a really good flop. 7 fate's probably not enough to invest. Yeah, he goes with the Toshimoko instead. So even leverages duelists even harder. The other side, still have the Toshimoko. Or no, we have another. Alphasquid found its own Toshimoko. It's a Paragon of Grace, New Child of Empire card, which can be quite good for pressing hand advantage. For attacks alone. But I suspect to see the Guest of Honor come out here for Alphasquid. Possibly Guest of Honor and Paragon of Grace, depending on if he has conflict characters in hand and how he feels, how much pressure he feels board-wise here. The Magistrate Station still being up is daunting to say the least. Guest of Honor may be able to break it politically, depending on what cards that Alphasquid's able to get into his hands. No, he opts for the Toshimoko instead. I can't imagine the Guest of Honor will be bought with only 1 fate. So I think this is a defensive maneuver. I would imagine to cause to be able to stall an attack. But 2 dojos and the Doji Challenger currently being greater in military strength may be an issue. Although Toshimoko, I guess, can always just duel back and blank the conflict, regardless, even if but it's a triggered ability. Yeah, I know it's interrupt, so I'm pretty sure the interrupt is not covered by the Kakita dojo. Cannot trigger his abilities. If anyone in chat knows, please let me know. Yeah, I agree, Bard of Zeus, that it is getting rougher for Squid for sure. See my Mystic bot just to pop any sort of. Okay, as they draw the cards, the promised. I forgot it again as I was rambling on. Go check out Micha's deck. So I would say non-standard sort of things or less standard. There's a disdainful remark, obviously great for protecting things like Magistrate Station. There is 2 Finger of Jades, obviously looking to tower a little bit more than regular Crane. So a lot of protection along with the cancels for the characters, Censures, 3 Voice of Honors. Formal Invitation, I think you see one of that a lot nowadays. There's 3 in Alphasquid's deck, and 2 Hawk Tattoos, which is definitely not something you see a lot of, but helps get your duelists into the fights they want to get into and gives them a little pump along the way. So pretty cool, I think. I think I can actually, probably give a little bit of a magnification on I always forget to do that, on the cards to help people out here. Okay, so 5 to 5 bids, not surprised. Conflict phase, no pre-conflicts. Doji Challengers heading in first attack, as Doji Challengers do. He's going to want to get rid of that Guest of Honor. Oh, Wave Crane, I missed that on Toshimoko. Very big. So we have a equalization of the magistrate stations. So the question is, and the Toshimoku duel. So if you can get this Toshimoko higher than the challenger, then I mean, it's kind of a you have to get it higher quicker than the dojos go off. So we'll see definitely what cards are in guys' hands and how this pans out. I mean, it could either be lend to a pretty overwhelming break if the Toshimoku gets bowed off the dojo, or can just lead to a win or blanked conflict by the defender. So he's heading in on fire. Obviously wants to get his voice of honor turned on. If he can win, he can stop Toshimoko from standing, even if he doesn't break Magistrate Station. So yeah, fire's an excellent ring choice here. Currently winning, so we're going to need some cards played by the defender. Oh, Toshimoka, sorry, Toshimoka's already ahead. My apologies. I was reading the log, but that includes the Imperial Favors. So we may see some duels with the Doji challengers at a disadvantage, and it's already been. Oh, unfortunately, we have a disconnect, but a quick reconnect. Whew. Because I want to see what happens. Doji challengers at a disadvantage in terms of actually pulling off this conflict or getting around a Toshimoku duel. So we'll see if he drops the card. Although it would be 5-4. In comes the Mystic from the challenger, so now the defender's winning. Opts to kind of use the challenger for its quote-unquote annoyance factor of being able to suck in boards to conflicts that you don't necessarily want to commit as much to. Kita Dojo is, is dueling the My Mystic. Makes sense. So now it will be unable. Is it for the conflict? Sorry, I gotta get not 100% as familiar with these until the end of the conflict. Okay, so the My Mystic will still be used later. So maybe he's planning on dropping an attachment, either a Hawk Tattoo or the third Katana that he doesn't want destroyed. Obviously, pulling the Maya Mystic in makes a lot of sense. And I suppose you have two Kakita Dojos to use, but and you want to bow it. So you pull it in, and you're still winning the conflict. We see a military duel. And see what the bids are here. I mean, it could be a 5-1. It could be a big honor exchange, which, in a deck that's focused on dueling is a big deal. Micha reveals a bid of 1, and Alphasquid goes with, Micha 2, and Alphasquid bids 1. So it was a excellent read, I believe, on Micha's part, because he's able to win the ring, only have to give up 1 honor, and at this point, unless there's another way of the crane, is going to neuter that magistrate station. It's only one way the crane played, 14 cards drawn, so it's not unreasonable, although it is less probable that he's drawn the second one. Soulbound Reproach is another option. I believe he's running 0. Oh, he's Seeker Fire. Of course he is. So he doesn't want to be disqualified. So that's a good call. Good call by Alphasquid not to be disqualified. But Magistrate Station readies the Doji Challenge on Micha's side. So yeah, this Magistrate Station on Alphasquid's side is definitely under a very large threat here. Alphasquid cannot honor and stand or drop a conflict character, so he has to pass his conflict and has an undefended Void Ring from the Doji Challenger on political. So we have 4 fates, so we could see a political rival definitely defend this. I mean, 1 fate political rival is not 100% what you want to drop, but I think to save Magistrate Station, it may be worth it. And to be safe from the Kakito Dojo duel. So we'll see if he managed to dig up. I believe he's on a 1 of. He might be on 0. Sorry, guys, I keep flipping back and forth from the deck, but no, he's on 2 political rivals. Yeah, I think political rivals is a great card. A formal invitation on Toshimoko. So he could come in regardless at 4 political strength, which wouldn't actually go over top the rival. We see the third let go on the formal invitation, so now attachments are completely safe for Micha. and we lose Magistrate Station undefended. Toshimoko suffers a Void Ring. So 2 breaks for Micha, and better board and only 1 fate behind. Hand size is equal. It's, and the favor looks to be going to Micha with plenty of money to invest in this Yoshi if he wishes with his Magistrate Station. So yeah, rough start for Squid. I know he's a very good player. Let's see if he can swing this around somehow. We'll see what his flop is. Opts to keep the Paragon of Grace. Micha keeps everything on his side, the Yoshi and the 2 dojos. I mean, why not? Because you certainly have a pretty obvious buy there with that'll suck up all your fates, so you don't really care. Oh no, sorry, I missed the regroup. I thought it was over already. Tosses 1 dojo to see what comes up. He has 2 duelists. Wonder. Okay, so he's got a Whisper to augment his Yoshi if he wishes. Okay, we see an Imperial Librarian, which I've seen come in and out of Crane a little bit. Never that many of them, but I don't think he wants to buy it here, having the honored Doji Challenger sitting on the other side. So we got a Brash Samurai and a Kakita Kaizen. Certainly has the fate to buy both with reasonable investments. Micha has he's used 1 assassination. So Brash Samurai might be reasonable. He's got how many 2 assassinations. So you don't have Voice of Honor, so I don't know how much you think you can safely invest here. Yep, Yoshi, as expected, pops out with 3 fate. So that's going to be a lot of cards drawn, potentially up to 12. We'll see if the bids, 12 honor, it's a real tough dishonor road. So I expect to see 5 to 5s here and just go for just like a lot of cards. Micha draws 4 just to get a little bit of a buffer on the honor. Maybe he's expecting to have to cycle his deck. That's potential at this point. Although I don't know if the game will last long enough for him to use Yoshi 4 times. So Alphasquid is able to drop a Way of the Crane on Toshimoko. And we see a Way of the Crane on Yoshi. So my Way of the Crane is bigger than your Way of the Crane. Sort of contest here. We got fate on the air, earth, and 2 fate on the water ring. The water ring, the 2 fate's tempting and certainly denying your opponent, but it's not a spectacular ring at this point. So you kind of have to weigh that sort of denying that 1 fate from your extra fate from your opponent versus the utility of the earth ring. 13 cards to 11 cards. Storehouses on either side, so 12 cards. Earth ringing to go to 14 to 10 is good, but I don't know. You really got to wonder about valuing the fate. Of course, you're down on board here, and the 3rd break is a very real possibility. So it'll be interesting what Alphasquid chooses to do here in order to try to get this game back under control. Of course, the Kakita Dojo is also a real problem. For not so much for Toshimoko, he's tough to duel, but for Kaizen, because could blank his action if he goes on the offense and bow him. Well, there's bowing going around. Lion Splash is looking better and better for those ready for battles, just to neuter some of this stuff. And unfortunately, a Secret Fire hasn't done anything for Alphasquid yet. And I guess he's only going to pop 1 fate off of it. Alphasquid pops the Imperial Storehouse to head up to 2 extra cards. No Courtiers in play, so that's kind of a bit of a downer. Obviously, buying the Imperial Library would have definitely been a problem for him. So, of course, he has only 1 Steward left. He has the Rivals. He can get them if he's sitting on some 4 Shames, and he's halfway through his deck. So I would imagine he is by now. Of course, Micha has not played any cancels, and has voice control at this point, plus the Censure. So he's got 4 cancels that are live right now, and he's drawn half his deck almost, and he will with Yoshi. So you got to imagine there's 1 to 3 somewhere in there of those. We see a pass. In the end, he opts to pass, being down characters. So Doji Challenger, he's got the third break, of course. That's the big one. That's the big break. So Toshimoki heads into Meditations on the Tau. My expectation would be to see a defense by the other Toshimoko, Toshimoko and Toshimoko sort of battle. Of course, it's on military, so I mean, if Misha's Toshimoko does end up winning, it'll be because it's higher military, and it'll kind of blank the duel from Alphasquid's Toshimoko. Alpha Moko, let's call that. Go with Alpha Moko there. But Kaizen, without cards, will have a difficulty standing in the way of Toshimoko. And it's a Void Ring. Interesting. Opts not to go Earth with a Fate on it, but Void just to try to get rid of this Toshimoki for next round, which is certainly strong. I mean, if he's able to get the break this turn, which 2 more characters left, it's a good chance. A 12 political is, a 14 political is something for sure. um, and and then going into next round facing just Kaizen with your pretty large board is a good situation. Greekin, I don't get your comment. Explain it to me. It's probably pretty good. Oh no, I see Steel Furs going live. Competition. Competition. I gotta up my game, up my streaming game here. Of course, advertising the other streamer on your stream may not be the best way to do that, but yeah, I'm sure that's a good game too. Oh, Toshimoka versus Toshimoko. Yeah. Yes, we'll see which kind of who's going to air juggle the other one and what kind of killer combos. So Kaizen stands in the way. Brave Kaizen. We see Meditation Tau removed. Toshimoko. So let's see what Soulbound Reproach honors the Toshimoko. So currently breaking is Kaizen. Oh, Steward of Law. The third Steward of Law comes down with a Fate. I mean, yeah, that's pretty protected with a Fate because obviously you're going to take, if you win this, you're going to void off Toshimoko. This does make the Water Ring actually much better for Alphasquid, so that was a good read, that his opponent would value a different ring, and he would be able to defend with the character, then hopefully win a Water Ring, or at least pull in a significant defense. Because at this point, the challenger wouldn't even stop the Water Ring without card investment. And then he can stand up his Kaizen to do something. I don't know if he can really defend against the political attack, but maybe he can make a political attack of his own, etc. I wasn't aware of that. I should probably get up to speed on our switch to Tekken. Believe me, not the greatest L5 player either, L5R player either, but Tekken would be a real problem for me. My twitch reflexes have diminished significantly in the 30 plus years since I've really played a fighting game. We see a For Shame played to bow Toshimoko. Interesting. The Magistrate Station is currently unused. Okay. And that is the first For Shame, I believe. So it's not terrible to use up a Magistrate Station defense, although at this round I don't see Micha really needing it to get it done what he wants to do, because Yoshi's fully capable of breaking a province on his own. So yes, that is indeed what happens. The Magistrate Station stands. Currently not breaking. Losing this ring is obviously not great. Second For Shame bows. So at this point he's able to protect his Toshimoko from this Void Ring, which is definitely a good thing for his ability to defend next round. Three honored characters on Misha's side. Whew. That's something. It's almost as if we're playing new box already. And for those who don't know and aren't quote unquote excited, I am not as a Crane, as somebody who doesn't regularly play Crane, and thus will be facing them. The Crane new box can honor after a duel the participant, and Crane's gotten some really good duels and has more duels coming up. So expect to see a lot of honored Crane characters on Crane's side, even more in the future, making Magistrate Station more fair and more balanced, as they say nowadays. So how do people feel in the chat about the strength of Crane? I've seen them ranked various places. I mean, never lower than like third or fourth, at lowest, even against the biggest Crane detractors. I think they're, and certainly results follow through. I think they're second. I think Phoenix is obviously on top, but Crane is just really strong. I mean, Toshimoko as a defensive card is just crazy strong. I think in terms of coming in late, fairly late game, and just defending either Magistrate Station early or the box. Just the ability to to blank out a whole conflict, just to you know cancel out all the cards that were played previously into it, etc. It's just exceptional defensive ability. Okay, so I mean, I would imagine. I don't think Toshimoko can stop the political attack, so I would imagine we would see a watering for the Fate attack, to stand up a defender. Maybe he has that third for shame, although against two honor characters, that's not going to do a whole lot. No, he opts to pass his conflict. Interesting. I mean, yes, that's true. Toshimoku is the best defender in this case as well, so standing another character is not as valuable. We see the storehouse go on the magistrate station now because the 4 strength isn't as necessary. Although Toshimoku would have had a chance of killing that magistrate station, depending on the defense, but I would imagine the challenger would get in the way of that, and then just leave Yoshi to break this Meditations in the Tau. Greekin puts all the calls out all the Crane players for not winning any Kotois. In any format. What interesting. Which format? How many different formats are we talking about here? Obviously in the Tekken format. Certainly they're competing for the best. I'm a Miyamoto man myself, so I gotta say dragons are the best duelists. But certainly Kakita's got some impressive dueling skills. Okay, so we see the prophesied attack on water. Water was the choice. It makes sense. You can stand up Toshimoko, which means you'll get favor or maintain favor regardless of how this turns out. And we see political rival dropped. Okay, that's about as good as you can get on the defense here. So currently stopping the break. Micha drops the court games. I mean, the political rival is going to take that, I would think. Yeah. I mean, yes, you open yourself to a potential noble sack, but I can't imagine. I mean, that's a trade I think Alphasquid would be willing to take here. I mean, he could do the Toshimoko and get a break, but it's not too bad. There's always a chance of a conflict character. We haven't seen a lot from Misha's side, and then the conflict character being honored, and then etc. etc. But the court games has already been played. Two-way of the Cranes has already been played. A Soul Beyond Reproach has been played, so I think that's unlikely. I think that court games may have not been exactly what he wanted here. Okay, Yoshi draws 3 more cards, which pushes hand advantage quite significantly. So in this round, we've gone from +2 on Alphasquid's side to now +4 on Misha's side, so a 6-card swing. I mean, Yoshi will do that. Can't I can't talk dragon. You're right. I don't know if that's talking dragon. I mentioned dragon, so we don't have the break from Misha's side. We'll certainly slow down his assault, and that. Oh, we see the For Shame coming down from the other side, and Toshimoko opts to bow because him dishonoring would not stop the break regardless. And this is exactly what Micha wants because he's got two very good characters sticking around next round, but certainly leaving the round after. So he wants to get to this box, always got a big advantage, and not sort of let Alphasquid stabilize here. So we have no fate for a second political rival. All the Stuarts are gone. Let's see, Fumiki plus a bunch of cards. And I think actually Alphasquid doesn't run Fumiki. He's got the 2 Iron Warriors, 2 political rivals, 3 Stuarts. We see a Hawk Tattoo on Toshimoko. Interesting. I mean, he certainly doesn't want to blank this duel. Not maybe someone in chat sees why the Hawk Tattoo. I mean, you can use it next round. Well, but I mean, it's just +1 military. Interesting. Because he wants to duel with the dojo. Seems Oh, yeah, he wants to duel with the dojo and have somebody that the other Toshimoko can't duel. So good play. Definitely a good play. So he can stop the opponent's Toshimoko in a number of ways, either in this duel to blank his ability. Still not 100% sure on whether that works in the interrupt. I believe it would count as a triggered ability. I'd have to double check the reference guide. But regardless, he could just stop the duel the other way by having the Toshimoko Showdown, and he's got +1 on that. But he's not standing, so but he's on box. I don't think he's too worried about it. But this will keep the favor as neutral, stopping Yoshi from ripping up more cards next turn. But I would imagine he's going to grow to 16 cards anyway. 16 cards, 19 is obviously bigger and better, but not that much. Does Micha run Story Defeat? I did not see it in his list. Let's take a quick look while we switch to the next round. No Story Defeat. On the other side. I mean, Story Defeat, I think is, it's another battle, that's true. It's quite good there. The 1 honor to dishonor in this match is probably good, but overall I'm not so sure the secondary abilities that strong. Nope, he's got the, double check the Fumiki here. No, there was 1 of Fumiki, so that was a potential, but only with with 2 For Shames used. Not sure. Okay, back to the action. Going to the next round. 10 fate to 7, slightly bigger board. Well, no. I mean, overall strength, no, but number of characters, sure. Oh, sorry, guys. Shrunk it down there by accident. We see a duplicate on Kaizen. So not the strongest flop here for Alphasquid in terms of being able to defend. You can Brash Samurai, Mystic, not going to do a ton here. I mean, given how deep in the deck is, the political rival is a threat of a noble sack from one of these characters going away if the game goes to another round. Not the most devastating noble sack, but certainly hurt for the following round. 5 to 5 bids, 15 to 16 cards. So I expect to see a lot of cards exchanged at this box. But Kikido Dojo is still up, a very impressive duelist in Toshimoko. On Misha's side for a bow and an ability blank, plus sort of neutering Alphamoko. So it's going to be a tough defense on the box. Let's just double check what the box is. I suspect Rally. Nope, in transposition. Not going to help in the forthcoming political battle, I would guess, given the size of that Yoshi. Okay. Heading conflict plays. First player, 2 airing, not a big deal right now, so I suspect to see a political Earth Ring attack by Micha on the box. We'll see. No breaks for Alphasquid. Big hill to climb here. Let's see if we can do it. Oop, we got an oops. We got a manual mode. I think maybe switching rings or switching where he's attacking. Oh no, he wants to play a political rival. He passed. Yes, certainly a political rival. Oh, he passed. I missed that. He passed it in his conflict completely. I guess the samurai and the cautious scout. Neither one very good, and neither one wants to attack alone against a non-rally. So invests in the political rival, gives him a covert, which I would imagine Pashto Kimoko. I can't covert the rival, which is the biggest political defender, but certainly taking out 5 political square. Yeah, Alphasquid, always the gentleman. Lets him take back the pass, certainly. I think most players would do that, but good on Alphasquid for doing that. All right, we got the Earth conflict heading in on Entrenched. Is the stream blurry? Oh, is it? Let's see. I mean, I'm watching the comments. I'm watching it, but I'm watching it in very low quality. I hope that isn't actually affecting anything. Okay, good. It's not. Doesn't look that way either when I up the to 1080p. Okay, so Mystic, yeah. So everyone, yeah, because we still have the coverted Toshimoku to make an attack if he wants. We see a 3, 12, 15. Sorry, 17. Can't count. 22 political strength attack, or I could just read the log. Versus 3, 9, 10, probably Bao Kaizen if he doesn't get a bump, so 8 after the box usage. 22 to 8 is a big hill to climb here. Currently breaking, so although he just needs to stop the break. Let's see if he can do it. See if he can get that 2 additional skill he needs. Sorry, counting after the Micha's box use on Kaizen, which may or may not happen. So, but he has a couple different targets. Sorry, I can't count. He needs to get up to 14 to stop the 15 to stop the break here. 16. Ugh. Math hard. Okay, Ornate Fan comes down on the Stewart. Interesting that he didn't opt for Kaizen there to lessen what the box detracts from. Plus, Kaizen has a it's going to stick around longer, but which is probably just probably some reason for that. So we're currently at 5 over what's needed for the break. So see if Alpha can come up with ways to reduce that. Let's see, we got 2 for shame. So I could have a 3rd for shame to use on the political rival, which is not honored. Magistrate Station can't stand up. That would be worth 3. He plays court games to honor a friendly character. He's only going to get 1 strength out of that, but again, of course, it would just go on the political rivals, so that's not great. Honors the Mia Mystic. Getting him up to 11, so he needs an additional 5 to stop the break here. I did it. I got it right the first time. Kikita Dojo is bowing the Steward of Law, taking him back down to 8. Alphasquid passes out of gas. And there we go. Micha has won the game. I mean, obviously mirrors, just difficult all around. And good game to both players. Thank you. Very entertaining. Thanks for everyone who watched. I had a lot of fun casting. Hopefully you had fun listening. And yeah, if you want to pop over to the other stream, it's in progress, but I'm sure that's a good game too. Bye, everyone.